As the greatest lyricologist of our day, the Mad Fanatic said, Bo Nix is the fix, but he did some fixes that none of us ever saw coming, some things that happened this offseason that just are mind-blowing, and even his biggest fanboys coming out of college would have never projected. In this video, we're breaking down the Bo Nix effect, what it did to this team, and then we project what could this mean in the next 5 years and beyond. If you're new to the channel, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan named Ben, and it helps me in the YouTube algorithm out a ton if you like the Denver Broncos, if you would like and subscribe. So starting off here, like we cannot understate how amazing Bo Nix's season was last year. When you take a look at all-time rookie quarterbacks, he is up there at the top of every single meaningful stat that you would want to care about. The stat column here on the left is the number of yards he threw for, which is kind of a big deal, and you're seeing obviously names like Andrew Luck and Justin Herbert and CJ Stroud, but you see that Bo Nix last year, despite having really 3 kind of rough games to start off his career there as a Denver Bronco, playing in Seattle to start, and then the Steelers' crazy defense with a healthy TJ Watt in game 2. Very, very crazy that you were talking. He is a top 8 passer. Notice that he threw for more yards last year than Jaden Daniels. And then the category on the right, which is the most important category, which is like how many times did he get the ball in the end zone? And other than Justin Herbert, no quarterback threw for more touchdowns their rookie year than Bo Nix. And you just take a look at other names on the right. You're hearing guys like Jim Kelly with the Buffalo Bills and just like some very esteemed rookie quarterbacks. And again, he threw for more yards and completed more touchdown passes than Jaden Daniels. Yet because of Jaden's amazing year, especially running the ball, we don't give Bo Nix the credit that he deserves. But make no mistake about it, the rest of the NFL is giving him the credit that he deserves, and we're going to talk about that right now. So I think the first really obvious point that maybe it doesn't hit you right over the head is his impact on his other teammates. Do you remember this exact time last year, all of us were having a freak out because it seemed like Courtland Sutton might be forcing a trade out of Denver. He removed all the Denver Broncos stuff from his Twitter handle, his Instagram, all of it. I'm sure his Tinder had Broncos stuff removed from it. And then he wrote what looked like a goodbye post on his Instagram saying like, hey, I love my time in Denver. He did not show up at any of the voluntary OTAs. And now if you take a look at it, he is front and center. He is sitting courtside with Bo Nix at Nuggets games. He's going to Avalanche games, and he's attended voluntary OTAs. If I were to have projected a couple years ago, it would be more likely for him to do his holdout right now. Like his contract is over at this time next year. This is when he wants that guaranteed money if he gets hurt, yet he is front and center and he is there. And I think the only argument for that is he saw what he had in Bo Nix. This time last year, he had no clue how Bo Nix was going to be, and if he turned on the mainstream media, he probably thought he was a joke, and Sean Payton overdrafted him, and he looked at, he had some pretty lackluster years here and played in that quarterback carousel. And the biggest difference was he saw that last year he had one of his best years ever as a Denver Bronco, truly his best year dating back to before he had that knee injury. And so now he's like, hey, I am confident in the guy who is throwing me the ball. So even though I have every reason to hold out, I'm going to show up and be a leader because I know that this guy can get me to the Super Bowl. So I think just looking at the fact that Courtland Sutton is at training camp and is at these voluntary OTAs, hasn't even made a Twitter post, hasn't removed Broncos stuff from it when he has every reason to do that right now, is the ultimate credit to Bo Nix, and no one really looks at it in that manner, but I think it's undeniable. Like seeing he goes from being a holdout to now right here teaching our new guy, Pat Bryant, and I think that is phenomenal. Then you take a look at the Bo Nix effect of being like a magnet for free agents, and every single one of our huge free agent hauls, and I want to remind you that every single news outlet reported the Broncos had an A or an A+ free agency haul. No one thought that we were going to be able to get 2 Pro Bowlers. Actually, we got 3 Pro Bowlers. No one thought we'd get Hufanga and Greenlaw and Evan Engram, and they all credit Bo Nix. So you have basically we've covered all of these stories before on the channel, but you had Talanoa Hufanga be like, hey, I came here because of Bo Nix. And then he said, and I sat down and talked to Dre Greenlaw, and he came here too. His last sentence is in here, that Bo Nix is the reason that both Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw are here. That is, that's mind-blowing. Like, they have a top 10 paid quarterback in Brock Purdy, and they still picked Bo Nix over it. And then obviously Evan Engram, who had 100+ catches just 2 seasons ago and is an absolute game changer and a joker, had the chance to go to the Chargers, and the mainstream media would say the Chargers would be the better place to be. And he said he watched film of Bo Nix and Justin Herbert, and he hitched his wagon to Bo Nix. So you see an absolute free agent magnet there, and I just think moving forward, like just even watching here, obviously the Broncos did not get T. Higgins in this offseason, but there were conversations back and forth. The Cincinnati Bengals were able to keep him because they had the bird rights there. I just think that you are going to continue to see Bo Nix be that talent magnet. Bo Nix is the ultimate deflector, and he doesn't want credit for anything. And so he said a couple of days ago at OTAs, they said, how does it feel to hear all these free agents came here for you? And he's like, that's nice, but I didn't do anything yet. He understates that, but you can't overstate it. Like, you need to remember that in your mind, like that he's the ultimate type of leader who wants the attention off of him, but we need to put the attention on him because he got 3 free agents here. He's got Courtland Sutton showing up to OTAs. It is amazing. And then just seeing like, what has he done to move the needle and dig us out of one of the biggest mistakes truly in NFL history, the dead cap hit of Russell Wilson. No team has ever been faced with what we had. No team has ever had the addition of all of their dead cap space even hit close to what we had for Russell Wilson, and yet we made the playoffs without a tight end, without a running back. And I never, when we lost Russell Wilson, I thought we had hit our floor there. I thought we were in the basement. It was going to take years to crawl back to the top, but we are out of that. And already starting next year, because of how we have this contract with Bo Nix, we now have 4 more seasons with him on this rookie contract. And you were going to look next offseason at this time, the Broncos are going to have the 8th most cap space in the entire NFL. So you want to talk, Bo Nix has already lured 3 dudes here, and that is just the start of what is to come. And I can't wait for that. You're seeing Patrick Surtain come out last year when they were talking, hey, should it be Jaden or Bo Nix for the Rookie of the Year? He's like, well, he doesn't look like a Rookie of the Year. He looks like he's playing like an MVP. Over the last 7 games of last year's NFL season, he had the highest EPA in the league other than 3 other quarterbacks were on top of him. So he wasn't just playing Rookie of the Year type ball. He was playing truly MVP type ball. He didn't throw his first touchdown until week 4. So the fact that he still ended the season with the 2nd most touchdown passes in NFL history for a rookie. Imagine had he come out the gate swinging. Imagine had we not had really tough defenses to play. Imagine had he gotten to play Jaden Daniels' schedule last year as opposed to playing who we had to play. We had an absolute gauntlet. If you go back through and look at Washington's defenses and the defenses we had to play, I think Bo Nix would have shattered. Well, he already did shatter all of what Jaden Daniels did. So you're seeing his own teammates be like, yeah, dude, he's going to be an MVP someday. And obviously all these are biased sources. These are inside Denver Broncos country. Well, it goes outside of Broncos country as well. On the Kelsey's podcast, which I try to avoid as much as I can, but one of the clips that hit up on Twitter that I did not include because there's some choice language. Come on, Taylor. Get your man in and check there. You just see Travis Kelce go off saying Bo Nix was absolutely slinging it. He is going to be the real deal, and he gives absolute love to him. You're seeing his defensive coordinator there, Steve Spagnuolo, say the same thing. Like, hey, it might sound shocking to hear this, but when I see Bo Nix play, I get vibes and I get visions of Josh Allen. He's the real deal. Patrick Mahomes, after the Broncos should have beat the Chiefs on that blocked field goal, came up and congratulated Sean Payton and said, you got yourself one in Bo Nix. And we shouldn't be surprised because we remember Sean Payton bragged about ahead of time, I think I'm going to be very good at evaluating quarterback talent, and I'm happy that the rest of the NFL is not going to be good at evaluating quarterback talent. So just an absolute plethora of riches that we have. And it goes beyond that. So you have current players, you have the media and Colin Cowherd all over them. You got team players that we are going to play and their coaches, but then you look at Broncos alumni and the confidence they have in this team. And I guess there's a golf outing, and Mike Kliss did incredible job. He went through and asked all of these former Broncos greats, hey, what do you think about this team? And what do you think specifically about Bo Nix? You see a former wide receiver here, Steve Watson, and he comes out and says, like,
and their quarterback, hey, he's aces. He's one of the better ones I've seen through here in a long time. And
so he is aces. He's one of the better quarterbacks I've seen around here in a long time. You see him sit down with a quarterback and with another wide receiver and ask, like, what do you think?
Well, I think I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm very optimistic. Finally.
I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic for the first time in a long time. And you can, in that 2-minute video, I'll link to it in the video description here. But again, they just continue to just basically gush about Bo Nix. And it's why you are now seeing that the Broncos went from, do you remember this time last year, we were the worst team in football, according to the national drive-by media. And now you have all of these outlets come out and say, we're going to be we're going to win the AFC West. We're going to be a 3 seed in next year's playoff. You're seeing here, this is a PFF report that have the the Broncos is the 5th best roster in the NFL, or this is the PFF report. The other one was the 33rd team. This one's saying that we have the 5th best team in the entire AFC. Like, the tide has turned in Broncos country, and it is because of Bo Nix. Let me know in the comments, do you predict that Bo Nix has a top 10 year in year 2, or is he going to have a sophomore slump? I think he is surging, and y'all are surging with him. And Broncos country, we got a ton to believe in.